Hello and welcome to another edition of Green Terror Talk, the official podcast of McDaniel College Athletics. I'm your host, Avery Newport, joined here today by three members of the women's basketball team here on campus on the Hill. Elaina Beckett, Teya McConnaha, and Lil Overcash are my guests here today. Guys, thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
You know, you can pull the mic a little bit closer. You can.
Yeah, come on, Elaina.
There you go. Don't be so scared of it. You're supposed to talk. Anyway, this is a visual and an audio medium, so you can't. For our audio listeners, you can't see, but we're kind of squeezed in here a little bit. We don't have a huge set or anything, but we'll make it work. I guess we've already survived a couple minutes here so far, so it's going pretty well. Anyway, it's almost the end of 2024 here. I figured I'd have you guys on to kind of recap how your season's been going so far. Do like a mid-season recap, if you will, and then we can get ready for 2025. I've got some questions here I'm going to ask you towards the end, but first I just wanted to start with how you guys think your season's been going so far. I mean, last night you had a huge win over Wilson, 88 points scored in that win, the most points you've ever scored under Coach Gowan. Everybody seemed like they were having a great night last night. So just give me some thoughts on how you guys think your season's been going so far. Anyone want to jump in? Don't be shy.
I think it's been going pretty great so far. Like, we've had a good winning streak. We have a couple losses, but that's okay. We'll get them back later in the season. So we just need to keep doing what we're doing right now and just keep going forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's been really great so far. I think our team has been really close, and that always leads to good outcomes in games.
Yeah, true. Yeah, what in particular has made you guys such a close unit? I've seen like on your Instagram and stuff, you guys go to each other's houses and have like team dinners and meals and stuff like that. You travel, on the road and hang out in those sorts of ways. So has that kind of helped make the team a little bit closer? Or, in your opinion, since you guys are there obviously and you see it every day, like what has made the team chemistry so strong this year?
I think the coaches actually really help because they do set up a lot of things for team bonding and a lot of outside of basketball things that we can do together, and I think that just really helps us get out of the atmosphere of basketball and in the atmosphere of just hanging out with each other and being friends.
Right answer. Yeah. Always got to give the props to the coaches. Yeah, for sure. Because they'll bump your minutes too if you're nice to them. So I'm kidding, of course. But no, anyway, I mean, it seems from every perspective that I've seen so far, it's been a great start to the season for you guys. 8 wins and 2 losses this year. Just an explosive offensive performance last night against Wilson. In particular, what was working for you guys yesterday against Wilson? I mean, 88 points is certainly nothing to scoff at. That's a great total for you guys. And it seems like the offense has had a couple of great games like that this year. You had 84 points in the Rebecca Martin championship game in the win over Geneva. You've had a couple other high-scoring games so far this year. So specifically for the offense, what's been the key for you guys having success this year?
I think we play well off each other. So we know how we all play together. We pass the ball really well. So just that movement in our offense, we create opportunities for each other to score. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Lil, anything you want to chime in here?
Well,
been a little quiet so far.
Yeah, last night we had 30 boards. So
yeah,
I think,
true.
Being able to get those boards and give ourselves second chance opportunities is really big, so we can shoot 83 shots like we did.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, 83 shots. I think that's the most. I had the recap pulled up here. Shout out Jason SID for pulling up the stats yesterday. But I think it was the most shots you've taken in a game since 2012. 83 shots from the floor over 10 years. So that means clearly you're getting some good looks. I mean, of course, you got the Princeton-style offense, the backdoor cuts to the basket, all that kind of stuff. And really, when you look for those plays and they don't show up right away or the defense makes a good read, you still have shooters on the perimeter that can create some offense and score. You've got good ball handlers as well. So the offense, to me, has been terrific so far to start the year. And Elaina, especially, you've been the beneficiary of a lot of those backdoor looks, and you've been able to shoot the 3 this year as well. You've won a Conference Player of the Week already this year in the Centennial Conference. So specifically for you, how have you been able to get off to such a good start this year?
I mean, I think you said it. It's a compliment to my teammates. We score so many points off assists. So, me being in the right place at the right time and my teammates being able to make those passes is pretty much what's happening.
It's huge. Yeah.
I'm grateful for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, and these two certainly have been a big part. But it's a team effort too. I don't mean to to take too much of the spotlight away from the team, because it really is. Like, you have to be able to execute the offense properly. Everybody's got to be on the same page for you to get those looks, for Teya to get the looks, for Lil to get looks from three. Like, all of it has to be in sync and together, and that's what I've seen so far from the offense. And you've mostly played non-conference games to this point in the year, but in the 2 conference games you have played, you lost one that was really close on the road at Dickinson, and then you smashed an Ursinus team that is good, a really good Ursinus team that is going to be up there towards the top of the standings come the end of the year. And you shut down one of the best players in the conference too, Chinwe Arundi. So you've seen some really good competition already this year, especially in the Centennial. I think that's got to be a great sign moving forward for the rest of the year, that you got a little conference preview here in the last couple of weeks, and you've been competitive and you've dominated a team in the conference. That's got to show a lot of progress heading towards 2025 here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
Take it and run with it, man. These are open-ended questions. We can.
I think with our defense, we really understand who we need to guard like a lot, or who we need to get in foul trouble to get them out. Because, like, as you said, Arundi, she only played 6 minutes.
Yeah, true. Yeah, right.
Because she had
2 fouls in like the first 2 minutes. Yeah.
And so, like, if we go at a player and we know, like, we need them to foul to get them out of the game, that's what we need to do. Like, I think she got 2 bad screens on her, and they did.
Yeah, and they called them. Yep.
So.
Well, and at that point, like, she didn't play basically at all in the first half, and then when she came back in the second half, she was getting empty buckets for the most part because it was already over. So, so I think that was certainly very smart on your guys' part to get her in some foul trouble early, and they clearly didn't have the bench depth to come back at you. But that was another game where the offense was just on fire from start to finish, from making shots, and the threes were looking good. A couple players hit threes. So I think it was certainly a whole team effort there, not just on the defensive end, shutting down one of the best players in the conference, but then coming back and hitting shots of your own and making that game more of a blowout than I think a lot of people thought it was going to be. I thought that game was going to be much closer, a home contest against a tough team in Ursinus, and you guys ran away with it at the end. So a lot of positive signs here early on as we kind of hit the midway point of the season. Played 10 games at this point, but the schedule is going to get tougher, of course. You're going to have to play the Gettysburgs and the Johns Hopkins later on in the season. So that's got to be an exciting challenge for you guys, though, right? Because you have seen that you can play and compete with the best teams in the conference. So how are you guys feeling as the conference slate begins to be a bigger part of the season here?
I'm really excited for it because
you can say, like, you know what, guys, I think I'll take this one. Or you can all chime in together. Really, it doesn't.
No worries. Go ahead.
I think it's going to be really fun because since they are such difficult teams, it will really show what we can do on the court. And, like, with these other teams, like, being out of conference sometimes it doesn't show, like, our full potential to what we can do. So, like, just playing Gettysburg and Johns Hopkins is really going to show what we can't do. Like, if we lock down on defense, they're not going to be able to score and everything like that. And if we're hitting shots all the time, like, it's going to be a good game. They're going to be a good match either way. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anyone else want to?
I stand by. I think this is one of the top conferences in the
For sure.
nation.
For sure.
Every night's going to be a dogfight, whether we're playing Johns Hopkins or Gettysburg, or if we're playing and literally any other team, Middleburg or Sinus. It could go either way. So it's been exciting to have those games, been able to pull out that one or Sinus, and then have one so close against Dickinson. And the past 3 years I've been here, they've blown us out every year. So it's just a special group, and I'm excited to show people. Yeah,
and I think you touched on that too, Lil, that there's been a lot of improvement this year over the last couple of years, and really every year during Coach Gowan's tenure, right? Because when she first came here, you guys struggled a little bit, but every year since then, you've improved your record by 3 wins each season. So you went 12-13 last year, just a game under 500. So that means obviously that you're going to win 15 games this year because of the progression. It just has to work that way. I don't make the rules here. I'm just the messenger. But yeah, I mean, again, you see a lot of the progress and the signs that this team is going to be a team to contend with in the Centennial Conference this season for sure, especially when you guys are at home in the Gill Center. You're 5-0, unbeaten still at home this year. What's been the key to your success in your own gym. Of course, not having to travel and not having to factor all those things in certainly helps when you play at home. But what about the crowd and the fans and being able to see your friends and family in the stands? Have any of those things helped you guys continue to improve this year?
For me, it has, because my parents, they usually come to every single game, and they're a big part of my life. So it's like really good to see them wanting to be here and wanting to support me and also my teammates.
Yeah.
They love my teammates. Like, they love Elaina. They don't know how.
Wow. Nice.
Thank you.
And they just like love everybody on the team. They just want to be there for everybody, not just me.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's helpful, obviously, to be at home and have a crowd that, supports us and just women's sports in general. So that's obviously great to see. And I think even just being at home, like, even if we're not at home, like, our team, we're loud on the bench. Like, we play for each other and we cheer for each other. So just being home has that extra, like, step. Like, we have all these other people cheering for us as well.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely noticed that last night, too, because, again, this was a game where you were able to get a lot of the bench players in. They got some significant minutes last night because it was a pretty big route. And, you got Kendra Mason in the game late, and then she made a couple of threes, and you guys were just absolutely going ballistic on the sidelines and cheering for her, and she had a great game and best game of her career so far. And that's a great example, Elaina, of what you just mentioned, that, like, even you guys are on the sideline are just cheering as loud as anyone else in the gym. So it's cool to see that, and that's definitely a great example of how you guys are coming together as a team and you support each other. And I definitely noticed that. I think other people noticed that too. That's you got to have that, right? You can't be, you can't be quiet and you can't be passive. Like if you really like each other and are around each other and support each other, then that shows, right? By how you guys act on the bench and how you support each other on the floor. So yeah, a lot of great signs that I've seen certainly this year. But of course, 2024 only has about 2 weeks remaining this year. 2025 is right around the corner. So I mostly wanted to have you guys on here today to ask you some questions about how you think 2024 went, kind of recapping your year as a whole, not just in a basketball sense, but in a personal sense. Have you accomplished any of your goals off the floor? Some other little lighthearted questions here and there just to kind of, have our audience get to know you guys a little bit better too off the floor. So I've got a few questions here that I can ask you guys now, if that sounds good to you. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Well, first of all, I have to ask, what was your favorite moment of this past year in 2024? It can be anything, basketball related or academically related, personally, anything. What comes to mind?
For me, we just had our cookie bake-off.
Wow! No, okay. I got to hear what kind of cookies we're coming out with here.
We actually made pretty much the same cookies, just a little bit differently.
Oh, that's so disappointing. Yeah. Different kinds? Nothing really?
Yeah, they were.
Well, what was the main cookie flavor here?
They were peppermint chocolate cookies.
Okay. Well, you can't really go wrong with peppermint chocolate, especially around the holiday season. So.
Well,
whose was the best? I have to ask.
My team was.
Okay. So, well, who else was on your team here?
Carly, Kendra, Reagan, Clara, Jordan, Emily.
Jeez. It's a big team. I thought they'd be like...
It's half and half.
It's half and half, yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
So, yeah, my team won, so that was pretty epic.
But you got to have different flavors, though, right? I mean...
We had no clue because we didn't know which we chose, so... But ultimately,
interesting.
The coaches decided that my team's cookies were better.
Well, you take those bragging rights into next year. That's a great way to end the year,
the highlight
for sure.
Of my year so far, so...
Okay. Well, Elaina, how about you?
For me personally, I guess my highlight was the end of last season, being able to come back and play the last game of the season. I'm just grateful that all my trainers and coaches were able to help me get back to being able to play in that last game for my teammates, and I just am incredibly grateful for them letting me come back in the game and being able to play out for the last time of my sophomore season. Yeah, for sure. A season where you went second team all conference as well, second year in a row. Certainly a great accomplishment. Lil, any thoughts?
I enjoyed just the little times got to hang out with my team. We were able to go to Hershey Park this year with
Sweet.
a group of people, and then a group of us also went to the Maryland Duke women's basketball game.
Nice.
Super fun. Just
Maryland upset, pulling off the upset.
I was shocked. I was shocked.
Now, are you a Maryland supporter, or you lean somewhere else, or?
I mean,
root for the upset, I guess, right?
I was rooting for Duke. Duke in that game.
Oh my God! How
I'm
could
a
you
fan of
say
Carol
that?
Lawson. I'm a fan of Carol Lawson, so.
Okay, fair
but,
point. You say that in front of a Maryland alum? Are you kidding me right now? You're supporting
They
Duke
won.
in a Maryland Duke
They
game?
won, though. It's
That's
fine.
okay.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. All is forgotten when Maryland wins and
There
beats
you go.
Duke. Okay. Fair point. Well, great answers, of course. I got to say now, what was your, since Spotify Wrapped, of course, came out, last week, 2 weeks ago, what were your favorite, your top artists on Spotify Wrapped? Or Apple Music? I won't discriminate, but I have to say.
I'm an Apple Music
Yeah.
girl.
I'm a
Okay.
Spotify person.
There you go.
so-
You go,
Okay.
You go first.
So I can only remember my top person. It was Rihanna.
Great choice. Can't
So,
dispute it.
yeah.
Really can't. Really
I currently
can't.
listen to her I listened to one of her songs 65 days in a row or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Impressive streak. Will she ever come out with a new album ever again?
I
Didn't
don't
her
know.
last one
I
come
don't-
out in
I
like
literally do not
2016?
follow
It's
her
been
at
like
all.
10 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Jeez.
Yeah.
She's fallen off.
Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Well,
She's
I
really
guess she
not
hasn't
fallen
fallen
off,
off.
though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're still listening to her now, that means she's doing something right.
Yeah.
She's been featuring on things, right? Like
Yeah.
she's still been active.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. That's fair.
You wanna say yours?
I'll go next. My top 3 artists were Taylor Swift, SZA, and Gracie Abrams.
Okay. Last two were good, but
Oh no.
I don't know. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, like
I love Taylor Swift.
that's fair. Did you go to a show during the tour?
I
Really?
went to the Philly Eras tour back
Okay.
in
My sister went to the Pittsburgh one.
2023 in
Oh,
May.
wow.
So it's been a while, but
Nice.
It was
Okay.
fun.
Very
she
cool.
put on a great concert. So
That's what I hear. That, according to my sources, Taylor Swift does put on one heck of a show.
It was
Now
awesome.
this cannot be confirmed or denied at this point. But anyway,
Mine was Taylor Swift, SZA, and I believe Drake.
okay, all right. I really can't dispute any of those choices. You know what I mean? That's I'm not sure who this Drake fella is. I've never. No, I'm kidding. Of course. All right. Well, how about this? What are you looking forward to the most now that 2025 is right around the corner? What's the one thing that you're really looking forward to the most about this upcoming year?
I mean, for me, it's just getting to finish out this season with the seniors. I think it's a great group of girls, and I'm so sad to see them go, but I'm excited for what we have coming up.
Yeah, of course. Lil being one of them. You know, yeah, it's gonna be tough. How are you feeling about this being your senior year? You know.
I'm trying not to think about it. It's gonna be weird when it's gone, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to just play and hopefully we can get to a postseason tournament of some kind. But I am definitely excited to graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. No more classes
Yeah, I'm done with that part.
for sure.
Like Elaina said, I've met a lot of really nice, good people here. Last year, Lil was my PIC coming in as a freshman, so that was really nice to have.
Could I ask what a PIC is? I don't know what
What is
that
it? What
means.
is it?
Partner in coalition.
Partner in coalition. It's like your go-to person, like it's your your
Okay.
partner in crime. Like, she kind of just there to if you need to talk about something, she's there. She always checking, make sure you have your uniform, all your things you need to go when you're going to away games. And
Now, is this just for your team for women's basketball? Oh, okay. Nice. That's cool. I've never heard of
Yeah.
that before.
Yeah,
Neat.
so coming in and Lil being my PIC, it's really sad to see her go this year, but I'm really happy to have 2 years with her. So at least I got that much.
Sure. Did you think that now this is new information for me, of course, so I have to ask. Does Lil take a little bit of a part of your Rookie of the Year win last year because she helped you get settled and acclimated? Does she at least get a little bit of the credit? Maybe, of course, you did all the scoring and, of course, the rebounding
I'll
and
give you
such. So
5%, Lil.
Okay, perfect. Thank
There you
you
go.
so much.
have to ask, right? You know, gets you used to the team and gets you integrated into the culture.
I mean, Lil probably
5%.
made a bunch of those passes to me, so.
So true.
Fair point. Fair point. It's only fair. It's only fair. You have to ask. Now, last thing. Now, this can be a heated debate between the three of you. I can chime in here as well. If the three of you were to participate in a 3-point contest, who would win?
I feel like it might
I
be
feel like
even.
it would.
Elena.
I feel like it would be Lil.
Yeah.
Elena.
Lil can get
Wow.
hot.
Yeah.
So now, I'm a little surprised here. So none of you said yourselves here?
No.
Well,
What?
it depends because
Where's the confidence? Come on, you got to have the confidence when you
Well,
take the shots,
apparently-
don't you?
Apparently for me, I need 2 people coming at me to be able to make a shot. That's what Lil says.
Yeah.
Well, the one against Ursinus, that was very true because you had 2 defenders that were jumping right towards you and you made it over
What's
them
the
anyway.
difference? So if someone's guarding her, she's winning 100%. That's a joke we make.
But when it's the open three,
I miss it.
50-50 ball. Okay.
Yeah.
But you've hit a ton of threes this year, though. I think that seems like
But
you'd
I've
certainly have
also
a
shot,
case.
Like, way more. So it's like, well,
It evens
maybe.
out a little bit.
I think it just depends on the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Okay. How the ball feels in the hand, whether
Yeah.
the defense is okay. That's fine. I'm very surprised, frankly, that none of you said yourselves, because I think you could each have an argument here for winning a 3-point contest.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I still say Lil.
Yeah, I'll say Lil also.
Good teammates right here, folks. That's exactly, they're selfless. That's what we've seen today. Is that they all support each other, right? It's never about any one individual person here. That, you know what? Now that I think about it, those were the right answers. You should say your teammates, because if you say yourself, that could be selfish, right? But no, you always you say your other teammates. That's what you got to do. That's the sign of a good team, right there. Yeah. Well, this has been great, guys. Any other thoughts that you just want to say about how the season's been going, about how your season individually has been going? Anything else you want to say before we wrap it up today?
I'm good.
Excited
Excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
There
think
you
we're
go.
going to have a really good season no matter what the outcome is, because since we're all together, we're pretty much like a family. We're all there for each other, and I think if we just have a great time with each other, we'll have a great time overall, whether we're winning or losing. But of course, it's nice to win and have a great time at the same time. But I feel like we could all pick each other up after a loss and just keep moving forward.
Yeah. Well, and again, getting off to an 8-2 start like this certainly has got to help with a lot of those things, right? Because, taking care of your non-conference games, already having a great win against a good Ursinus team in conference has got to set you up really well for the next, couple of games. And of course, you're on a long break here before your conference slate really starts to kick off in earnest in January and in February. Does that break, the holiday break, does that kind of throw you guys off a little bit? Does that time away, is it necessary? Do you guys need that after, a long couple of weeks to start the season?
For me, it's definitely necessary. I love going home. It's one of my favorite things to do. People say they miss college. I miss home.
Yeah.
I love being home with all my animals and my parents. And
Animals.
Yes.
Which animals? I have to ask.
Okay.
Sorry.
So I have 2 dogs. I have 4 cats.
Wow.
2 are barn cats, so they stay outside.
Okay.
And then I have 14 chickens, 6 ducks, and 2 turkeys at the moment.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow. Cool. Do they get along for the most part, or do they even really interact with each other?
Well, so my barn cats, they live out there with them. My one barn cat, she gave birth in the chicken coop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess her chickens were kind of just supportive little group, right,
Yeah,
for that
but,
miracle of life.
Yeah, but if there's one rooster that doesn't get along, my mom takes him to the auction.
Wow. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's so harsh.
You have to keep peace in the coop.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't have one interrupting the flow. I understand
Yeah,
that.
can't.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Well, yeah, got to make the sacrifices sometimes.
Well, she'll always buy more from the auction, so.
There you go.
It's kind of a morbid way to look at it, but hey, there's always more coming in, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're excited to see your farm animals then once you
Yes,
go
I
home.
am. I'm excited to see my turkey Tom.
Turkey Tom.
Yeah.
Good name. Elaina, what are your plans during the break?
Well, not as many animals. as that.
I don't think anyone has as many animals as
No,
Teya
probably
does. Certainly not
not.
in this room anyway. But
No, but I like going home as well, seeing all my family. I'll just be home for Christmas, and then I'll go support my high school over the break, watch them play, and then hopefully stay in shape. That's my goal.
Sure, of course. Lil, it's a bit of a hike for you to go home during the break. You are from Oregon, of course, which is across the country. But do you have any other plans for the next couple weeks?
No, I'm just gonna go home and spend time with my parents. It's usually the only time I get to go home. So
Yeah, sure.
just a lot of hanging out with them, resting, trying to stay in shape, and just hanging out, enjoying my time.
No farm animals for you?
No, sadly
No. What is there to do in Oregon? I've always wanted to go see the Pacific Northwest, that area of the country.
It's very outdoorsy. everybody
Nice.
who lives there. So there's lots of hiking. My parents we're big hikers, backpacking,
Sweet.
camping, paddle boarding. There's a ton of lakes and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah,
a lot of outdoors.
The coast too in Oregon. I've always wanted to go over there.
I'm not
yeah.
a big coast fan because it's kind of sad and rainy all the time.
That's a bummer. Well, yeah, it's like Seattle's always considered a really rainy city. That's fair. Okay. But is it nice like during the summer at least, like when there's not as much rain? Or?
Usually, I mean, it rains a lot just in general, but it is nicer in the summer. But I avoid the coast. I'm afraid of tsunamis. So.
That's as good a reason as any to avoid the coast. Fair point. Okay. Well, any things you're looking forward to about the holidays, like specifically, Christmas time, Hanukkah if you celebrate? Anything?
Money and gifts.
We love honesty on Green Terror Talk. We really do.
Just spending time with my family.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, probably spending time with my family.
That's right. That's good. No, see, you guys have been given all the right answers today. My teammates are the best. I love spending time with my family. That's just, you're checking off all the boxes. I'm sure Coach and Maggie are watching this and are like, yep, they're saying everything right. They're doing it right. Should be happy about this. But well, anyway, guys, this has been great. Just getting to know you guys a little bit more, introducing you to our audience watching or listening at home. It's been nice getting to chat a little bit about women's basketball. Hopefully this hot start to the season will continue into 2025. A lot of positive signs to start with early on. And, of course, I wish you the best of luck moving forward. And I'm sure we'll catch up at some point later in the season, have a little season recap episode at some point later on in the year when you guys are in the playoffs. You've won 15 games. Yep. Speak it into existence, right? You gotta speak it into existence. Gotta happen. Anyway, but that's gonna wrap up our show today. Thank you guys so much for coming on today. Really been great getting to talk to you guys here today. Of course, Teya McConnaha, Elaina Beckett, Lil Overcash, my guests here today on Green Terror Talk, the official podcast of McDaniel College Athletics. Thank you so much for watching and listening to today's episode. We'll see you again next time. Take care.